I've always been the guy who drags his buddies into dumb adventures. Urban exploring, they call it. Sneaking into crumbling factories or forgotten subway tunnels, snapping pics for the gram, and high-fiving over cheap beers afterwards. It wasn't just the thrill, it was an escape from the mundane grind. Office jobs, piling bills, relationships fizzling like old fireworks. Deep down, though, I needed it to feel alive. Or maybe to forget something nagging at the edges of my mind. Last weekend, it was my idea to hit this old military bunker on the outskirts of town. The place had a reputation, traded in online forums and late-night bar stories. A Cold War relic, sealed after a botched 70s experiment involving biological weapons or mind-altering tech gone horribly wrong. But that's what made it exciting. The danger, the forbidden fruit. I'd felt a strange itch about this bunker specifically, like a distant rumble echoing in my dreams. Me, Jake, my wisecracking best friend who once nearly died in an abandoned mine, but laughed it off with a beer. Haley, the fearless photographer, whose camera captured wrecks that still haunted her nights. And Tom, the cautious one, packing extra flashlights because he'd lost a friend to stupid risks years ago. We all geared up with ropes, masks, and a sense of invincibility. We were young, reckless, convinced nothing could touch us in a place forgotten by time. What could go wrong? The drive out buzzed with banter, but under Jake's heavy metal blasts and dramatic headbanging, I caught a faint, rhythmic throb from the woods ahead, like a heartbeat muffled by earth. Haley rolled her eyes, adjusting her lens caps, muttering about how her photos of that old car crash still gave her chills. Tom glanced at his phone map, voice tight. "Signal's dropping. This place has been abandoned for decades. What if it's unstable?" I laughed it off, clapping his shoulder. "That's the point, man. Adventure awaits." But even then, a shadow of doubt flickered in me, unbidden. The sun dipped low as we parked in an overgrown lot, the bunker entrance looming like a forgotten tombstone amid tangled weeds and rusted fences. We slipped through a gap, boots crunching gravel, the air already thick with a subtle metallic tang that coated my tongue. The descent thrilled us at first, slipping through rusted grates into vast concrete halls, our lights slicing through dust like knives through fog. The air hung stale, heavy with mildew and decay, every step echoing ominously. Graffiti warned, "Turn back," or "Ghosts inside," but we dismissed these as pranks. Jake joked about spectral soldiers. Haley's flashes lit faded signs, and Tom highlighted concrete cracks. We navigated narrow corridors lined with overturned desks, yellowed papers, and cobwebbed equipment, a time capsule of nuclear paranoia. Yet that distant throb persisted, sinking faintly with my pulse, stirring an unease I couldn't shake. Then we found it, a hidden passage behind a collapsed wall. Rubble we cleared eagerly. The opening forced us to crawl, lights flickering over uneven surfaces. Emerging, the air turned thick and humid, cloying with rot that churned my stomach. The walls weren't stone anymore. They throbbed, soft and veiny, like the innards of a beast. Warm under my fingers, they yielded with faint vessels quivering beneath a translucent skin. A low vibration hummed, like a heartbeat drawing nearer. "Whoa, biohazard art," Jake laughed, voice muffled by the enclosing flesh. The corridor narrowed, walls contracting subtly, as if breathing. Unease mounted as we pressed on. Haley's flashes revealed bulging, slime-dripping forms. Tom's beam caught quivering cilia on the ceiling. "This isn't right," he murmured. "Turn back." But curiosity pulled us into the disorienting labyrinth. Humidity beating, sweat that mingled with damp air. Breaths labored. Jake's quip, "If this is a giant gut, we're not the turds," fell flat. Panic struck when the way back sealed. A wet squelch echoed like kneaded meat. We spun to see the passage knitting shut, fleshy folds forming a pulsing barrier. Sticky fluid seeped, hissing on boots, burning skin with acid sting. Haley yelped as blisters wept raw flesh. Tom pounded the quivering wall, stammering, "Impossible." The air gurgled like a digesting stomach, shadows twisting on veiny surfaces. Trapped, we moved deeper, the entity's throb sinking with my chest. Absurd terror dawning. This building might eat us. Corridors twisted like intestines, constricting with each step. Glowing veins bathed us in sickly green, floors slick with condensing fluids and metallic tang. Then, intrusions began. Visceral surges, bile-soaked memories invading like parasites. Flashes, scientists in horror, vats overflowing with tendrils consuming all. The entity fed on fear, archiving victims' thoughts in its flesh. Cries pleaded in my mind, preserved eternally. "It's alive," Haley whispered, clutching her camera like a weapon. Paranoia flared. Jake accused Tom bitterly. "You know with your flashlights." Doubts amplified, shadows menacing. The maze claimed Tom first. He slipped on fluid, splat. Tendrils erupted, coiling him in. Screams raw as membrane enveloped, acid bubbling skin to bone. "Help!" he choked, fingers dissolving. Jake lunged, but he was burned by spray. I pulled them back. We fled, guided by spectral visions, archived souls flickering in veins, arrows of light born from agony, draining us with devoured torments. Tom's loss shattered us. Jake's humor cracked to fear. Haley's tears mixed with sweat. Walls warmed, heartbeat louder, intrusions personal. My childhood entrapments, failures. Deja vu nagged, familiar. We reached the center, a throbbing chamber, walls undulating like an organ, veins pulsing glow, air suffocated with dread, acid pools steaming, a pulsating core at heart. Survival surged. We hacked with metal shards, flesh tearing wetly, acid searing blisters. "Come on!" Jake yelled hoarsely. Then the revelation shattered. My memory. Me in labs, young researcher engineering regenerative tissue for immortality. It mutated, absorbing consciousness, feeding on emotions. The spill consumed colleagues. I fled, burying guilt in thrills. But explorations pulled me back subconsciously. The maze recognized me. Convulsing in joy, its creator returned. Tendrils snaked, but light pierced our cuts. Daylight. We clawed, but they dragged, acid burning. Intrusions deepened. Jake's regret over unspoken family words. Haley's captured beauties twisted to horrors. My hubris amplified what-ifs from the lab day. Jake slipped away with a crunch. Haley gurgled into folds. I reached the light, air teasing, but tendrils yanked, merging me in warmth. Pain yielded to haze, essences etching into walls. Jake's laughs, Haley's flashes, Tom's warnings, woven with my own. The maze settles dormant beneath the bunker. Rumors call new thrill seekers. But feel that quickening pulse as you listen. That's me, curator in the Freshie archive, spinning Jake's jests and Haley's screams into bait. Step inside, adventurer. I've etched a place for you in the walls, too, where your fears will feed the finest tale next. The cycle evolves, forever hungry.